What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So today I have right here the Samsung Galaxy A53, and I've had this for 2 months. I want to talk about my experience using this device 2 months later at the time of this recording. But before I do begin, I want to quickly touch base on the wallpaper that you see right here on the Galaxy A53. This is my new wallpaper pack called Psychedelic. If you want to take a look at it and check it out, I'll be leaving the link in the description down below. I've been working on a bunch of new wallpaper packs, and a bunch more are coming out as well in the near future, so be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for that. But if you want to support the channel, be sure to check the link in the description down below. Anyway, let's dive right in. Design on the Samsung Galaxy A53. Now this is Samsung's mid-range device, so it comes with a plastic build, and it feels good in the hand. It feels good and very light in the hand. It definitely feels much lighter than the Samsung Galaxy S22, but it's obviously not using premium materials like its flagship older brother. But nonetheless, it feels really good in the hand. Now it's a pretty large mid-range 6.5-inch Full HD AMOLED display at 120 Hertz, and display is great. It gets bright, and it's a Samsung display, so we know how well and vivid Samsung displays do get. Now, probably you can't tell from this wallpaper here, but the bezels are a little bit on the much thicker side, so there's a little bit of a top and a bottom bezel, so it's not uniform, and it doesn't go from edge to edge, more like its older flagship brother, the Samsung Galaxy S22. I don't really mind that too much. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. And overall design, I like it. It's not that bad. This camera, it's raised the camera, kind of not really a cutout, but there's like a little bump, bump here with its quad camera setup, but we're going to get into that in a little bit. It has USB-C, a rear-firing speaker, front-facing camera, and that's really, design is it's not bad. It's good for what you're getting, for what you're paying for $449. It's a good design. I don't have any issues with it. I really want to talk about software and performance on the Samsung Galaxy A53 because I've kind of been let down. I had my hopes up too high. Coming from its Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and S22, I mean, I've been using these mostly during the same time and duration, but since I've been using those devices, when I keep coming back to the Galaxy A53, I was let down. Now, the software itself is great. One UI 4, it's clean. We know how it is, how Samsung improved from TouchWiz to Experience to now this Samsung One UI. It's cleaned up a lot, and I think it's one of my favorite custom user interfaces on top of Android. However, this performance on this device is slow, and that is probably because of its processor. The Exynos 1280 processor, it doesn't help. It's just not the greatest. Everything from unlocking it, even this, fingerprint sensor, there is definitely a holdup. Like, what is that? Come on, like, I'm just gonna put it out there and compare. Like, I know I shouldn't be comparing a $1,200 phone to this, but for me, like using this phone and then switching back to this, it's a huge letdown. But for the average consumer, I don't think using that fingerprint, but you can see how it stutters just a little bit. Now this is 120 Hertz, and I did slow down the animations too, but it just doesn't feel as smooth as its S22 lineup. It just doesn't feel as smooth, and I think you kind of have to try this out in person, but booting it up, turning it off, using apps and whatnot, it's just much slower. It feels very, very sluggish. I don't like it. I really don't like it. There are a couple software updates that came through, and after all of that, it still has not changed anything. That's a bummer. That's a real big bummer. I don't like it. So for me, software and performance has just not been great. So let's move on to camera. Camera on the Galaxy A53. We got a good camera setup here, but the performance and the results, it's all right. It gets the job done. You can't ask for any more like flagship features, but for most people, like myself included, I'll open up the camera and I'll click on the shutter button and I'll take the photo. And if you can tell, that was pretty slow. The shutter speed is not the greatest, but there it is. There is my photo. I'm not complaining. For daylight photos and everything, it's all right. Videos could be better. I'm not going into nitpicking into the details, but the camera hardware I just feel is a downgrade for me, especially when I'm coming from those flagship devices. Many are not going to be in those situations where they're going to be downgrading from a brand new flagship, but just because I'm consistently testing out, reviewing phones, I'm able to notice those differences. I see where Samsung cuts down, especially on price. Like, they're not going to offer this device for $450 but have flagship level cameras. That does make sense, you know. But when you see the downside and when you see the change from that flagship to this type of camera, you really get used to using that flagship camera, and you miss the results that you get on that flagship camera or on that flagship phone for its speed or performance or whatever it may be. But overall, it's fine. It gets the job done. I wouldn't recommend it for those who are going to go out there and make content on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok, whatever it is. If you just want to take a photo or take a video just for memories and just share it maybe on social media, but going into like hardcore making content, I wouldn't recommend it. The one thing I love about this device though, that's much better than the S22, is the battery life. That's right, the battery lasts so much longer than the S22. About 6-7 hours of screen on time, and for me, that's a good phone. I can use this phone thoroughly and very heavily throughout the entire day, even though software and the performance really does bug me out. When I do use it throughout the entire day, it gets me through that day, and I am able to get back and end my day with about 15-20% left of juice in the Galaxy A53. So that's really good for me. Charging isn't as fast as the S22 or the S22 Ultra, but if you're going to be one of those people who put their phones, charge their phones when they go to sleep and wake up in the morning, that's fine. That's super fine, really. But if you're getting someone who has S22, you're gonna have to charge this midday. But at A53, at least in my experience, I have not come across having to charge this midday and worry about the battery. It's not the fastest charging speed, so that's why I make sure to charge it overnight. So when I wake up in the morning, it has 100% charge. Even the Galaxy S22 Ultra, I don't really need to worry too much because it has up to 45 watts of charging. I don't need to worry too much about missing out on not charging it throughout the evening, because I can just juice it up real quickly in the morning, about 30-45 minutes. But with this, I kind of have to. It's definitely not as fast, but battery life is the one big plus about this device. And last but not least, let's talk about the price. Samsung devices always go on sale, so let me tell you that right off the bat. $450 for this retail price is good. It's not bad for a mid-range device. You're getting all right everything. You're not getting great everything, but all right everything. From camera to design, they're going to get the job done. They're not like bleeding edge specs or bleeding edge technology, but it's going to get the job done, right? But Samsung, like I said, always puts out discounts on their devices, so be sure to check this out. I've seen this for about $399, $379. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below. So just try to follow the sales because they lower the price. The lower the price, the better the deal. I feel like this phone's price will drop even more as we enter October, November, December, and even into next year when something like the Galaxy A54 comes out. This will definitely get much cheaper. So price, just be on the lookout. The lower the price, the better the deal. And my final thoughts about the Samsung Galaxy A53. It's a good phone for its price, but it's a better phone for a lower price. It's a great display, great battery, decent camera, slow software and performance. At this point, I'm telling you, at this point, they just with my own eyes that I can see, I feel like the 60 hertz like on an iPhone feels so much better than 120 hertz. There's really no need, in my opinion, to put in 120 hertz if you cannot optimize it. If you can't optimize it, like the other day I was using the Pixel 5a and it has 60 hertz, but it feels so much smoother than the 120 hertz on the Galaxy A53. I don't know, I might be tripping, but that's just how I see it. So if you can't optimize it, then what's the point of having 120 hertz? There is a whole dilemma about Pixel 6a not having 90 hertz. But if it did, then why would you get Pixel 6? Anyway, that's for a different video. But just the software and performance, 120 hertz, it's not the greatest on this. There's a lot of competition for the Galaxy A53, iPhone SE3 starting at $430, the Pixel 6a, which I'm definitely going to be making a video on comparing the two. His series competitor for $449. You're getting a lot of great stuff in that device. And it's got a bunch of other competitors like OnePlus and their mid-range devices. So you got to reconsider your options with all these devices coming out. If you keep waiting and waiting, the successor to this, the Galaxy A54, is also going to come out. So really do think about what are you looking for in a smartphone? What do you need? And if this checks your boxes, like all the boxes of stuff you need, like the price and the camera or the display or whatnot, then I would say go ahead and pick it up. But if there's like things like, okay, this does not check my box for the price, it's too expensive, or it's too cheap, or it doesn't check my boxes for the design, then reconsider this device. But overall, Samsung is targeting every single type of consumer, whether you're in the flagship market, in the mid-range, or even in the lower end budget market. So really every single market, Samsung has a smartphone to cater the consumer's needs. But that's really been it. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to Superman that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot and will help push my content out to more people. Anyway, that's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.